and it's another weekly connection. So anyway, I'm still here at the beach, and we're going to continue talking about how do we know when we are in light and love. And the answer is very, very simple. We no longer come from a state of chaos. Chaos is 3D. Chaos has nothing to do with light or love. So last time we talked about anger, and we used Einstein's method of I won't be bothered by that anymore. And I still want you to do that. But this time, let's talk about fear. So how do I know that I'm in fear? So let's do our oil, our little cosmic thrust oil. There you go. I'm going to rub my hands together, bring it into my aura, cup my hands together, and take a deep breath in. Once again, this connects us heaven and earth, protects us on all sides, and allows me to connect to you as well. So fear, I think, is a little sneakier. Kutumi's laughing at me. And it's again Lord Kutumi and Lord Mahé. It is a little sneakier, because I may feel justified in my worry. I have reasons for being afraid. And fear is something that we kind of need to have in a way, because we don't want to walk off the cliff. We don't want to put our bodies in danger. We don't want to touch the hot stove. So you're afraid to do that. But in higher levels, it isn't based on fear or worry. It is based on that knowledge of what that is. So it's more knowledge than it is primal reaction, which is more what the fear is. So when you're a person that holds fear, and I told you I didn't hold a lot of anger, I don't get angry easily at all, but I have lived my life learning to understand fear. So this one, I have some mastering at. Because a person coming from fear is going to need to control things, right? Because they're afraid, so they have to control, right? They're fearful, and so this is where if you're fearful and you're judgmental, now you're going to need me to believe in my God. It's going to need to be my country, my way of thinking, my way of doing, my recipe, my whatever. So fear is a little sneakier like that, and you need to kind of watch it very carefully as it serpentines around your little brain, because it will make you feel justified in feeling it, because it has to save your butt. But that is not true. That is the chaos way of dealing with fear. Fear in the light, as I said, is a knowledge of knowing. I know, I have the knowledge that that fire will burn me if I put my hand into it. So this is not a fear of fire. I think we can use this as an analogy, because you probably aren't afraid of fire, the majority of you, but because you have learned, you know the consequences of putting your hand in the fire. But how many things do you do in life every day that are really fearful? I'll bet it's a lot more than you think. So once again, we're going to start by using Einstein's method of concentration. I will not be bothered by that anymore. So anytime you feel control, I want you to expand the idea of fear into control as well, because control is about fear, right? Certain legislatures will do anything to control because they're afraid of losing power, as an example. So now I'm going to take my little paper and pencil, and I'm going to mark down, I won't be bothered by that anymore. Every time I'm in a fearful or controlling mindset, I'm going to realize how much I'm doing that, because we all do it. And now I'm going to reprogram myself, first of all, to recognize, because remember, we are delusional. You cannot be in a human body with one of these things upstairs, it's not actually up there, and be delusional, right? Because when we come from our heart, it's the only way that we can mitigate the delusion. You're never going to totally not, because this is totally an illusion. So a certain amount of all of existence is that we agree with the existence. That's a whole other territory. We're not going there. So we want to be aware more and more of our thoughts. And we need to be aware of those thoughts and be able to shift. So there's a thing called calamitating, where you actually are taking something either with fear or anger and making a calamity out of it, making a big drama out of it. So this first part of this has been an exercise to recognize, we call it cha-chaing, right? Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Everything is a big deal. It's not going my way, I'm going to get angry, right? So there you have fear and anger working really well. I need it to be like this, and it's going like this, so now I need to change it like that, and I'm angry because I need to make that happen, and I'm not doing fear and anger all at once, and I'm so nowhere near close to centered. I am so not coming from love in that particular instance, you know? Why did he slam the door like that? Maybe there was wind, or maybe he felt like it. So it's extremely important that you start to recognize these emotions in you. And it's quite a wake-up call when you start to do this. But here's what the really lovely part of all this is, which we're getting into now with Lord Mahay. He wants you to, when you say, I won't be bothered by that anymore, now, make it a positive statement. So instead of making calamitying, you are now making miracles, miracle making. So what you want to do is say, I'm going to, for instance, in the car, I'm going to create my light bubble, whatever your techniques are, we use tubes. I'm going to create my light bubble, and I'm going to make it so that everybody's at least 4 feet around me. I want my own bubble. And you're perfectly able to do that. And that is not manipulating, because it is my space and I have a right to my space. So you now are creating a world where there's very little calamity. Will there be calamity? Yeah, you all know that we had the thing in the house, and I call that the Great Calamity. Because it disrupted our lives. We had to move into the RV for 4 months, and it was quite costly and extremely messy. Oh my God, I still find dust layers in places I hadn't opened the drawer or done something, you know. It disrupted a lot. But now you have to take that negative thing that happens and create a miracle out of it, which we did. So, and it actually turned out quite nice and beautiful, and we got our house to be in a way that it wouldn't have. So I'm not saying you shouldn't react to what occurs. It is that you need to now make it a miracle. Make it a miracle. And that's the coaster going by. We'll just hold on a minute. There we are. And make it a miracle. So we took our calamity of the 50-year-old pipes just deciding to collapse and moved that into a miracle of how it turned out. Absolutely amazing. I'm not getting into it all. So, we want you now to absolutely think of everything that you're doing and how do I make that a miracle? What is the most positive thing that I could create out of that? So now I'm not going to go, look at that guy, he got his license at Susan Roebuck's. I'm going to go, bless that person for all that he needs today. Bless me first. And then no harm is done by that person's negative action, and you help another person grow by not joining into 3D chaos. You help that person grow by putting energy out to miracles rather than to cha-cha and chaos. So we want to make sure that we do that as much and as often as we can. And it takes practice. It does take practice. I'm not going to deny that. So, but it's good practice. And I find this when I recognize something in myself really fascinatingly fun. I mean, it's really fun to uncover that hidden part of you. And I don't sit there and I go, oh no, I was so bad. Nobody cares about that. Mostly you shouldn't care. Nobody cares. So what if you were terrible? In your life review, that won't matter. What matters is that were you having malice in your heart, or did you switch that moment to love? Did you make a miracle? If you made the miracle, lesson complete, task done. That's what we're after in this life, especially in 3D. And we chose to come to 3D because you get to master that more and more and more and more and more. There's a lot of it here, right? In 5, it's not that much there. It's mostly mastered by then. But we are setting ourselves up to be the masters of our 5D bodies. So let's bring that light in from the source. It comes from source, and that's the yang side, the father side. And it comes down the front of us. And it just saturates us with that yummy, yummy gold light. That light is stamina, courage, grit. And it comes down the front of you and all the way down and out through your body into the earth to mother. And the mother grabs onto that light. And while she's grabbing onto that light, she puts an essence of herself in it. And it goes around the grid system and up your back. Now, that is the nourishment. That is what gives you the understanding to go through the processes of your ego. So we're going to bring it up, and we're going to bring it around, all the way around, all the way around. And just make that orbit. Be sure to make that first part of the orbit very strong in you so that you're connected to heaven and earth. And then we start to bring it up with the essence of the mother, merging with the father, out in a rainbow, and it just saturates your first aura. That color of cobalt blue, as I said. And we are now shifting humanity into 5D beings by shifting ourselves first. It's always you first. Sorry, you have to love yourself, And then you have to go out to the sacral chakra. And this is where we really load it on, because we are part of the collective consciousness of 3D humanity. Whether you want to be or not, you are. And your job is to vibrate higher and higher and higher to change that 5D template 3D into 5D. And then out into your power center, right? Your solar plexus. And now I hold power of light. not of my ego, but of my of love, of the light. And I generate that light into the world from me first. And now people can maybe quiet down, not so much chaos. And then I bring it into my heart where now they feel that love and they don't want chaos. You don't want chaos, you want love. And when people feel the difference between chaos and love, they will choose love every single doggone time. And then your throat, where I am that light being, that seed of light, sending light through every thought, word, motion, everything to others. And my third eye, where I now generate that energy of being this light being on earth to shift and to change all of our lives. And my crown. I want you to see my crown because I am that light seed. I am the beacon. And I'm happy to share my light. I want you to share this light. So I wear it out as far as I need to wear it. 12, 18 inches, doesn't matter. And I keep wearing it as long and as thickly as I need to wear it so I can help others. And remember, it helps me first so that I'm not as apt to be judgmental. So this is our job as the light seeds, to work on our fear and our anger and to be able to generate love, not all those unconscious moves that we make. So Cosmic Thrust, by the way, and Cosmic Cleanse help a lot with that. And I'm going to be making an ascension oil probably in the next few weeks. It won't be ready yet, so I'll let you know when. So that's pretty good. We have an assignment. We're going to not create calamities or chaos. We are going to create miracles. Good job, everybody. So I will see you next week again. And I hope you've enjoyed this video of the ocean. And be sure to subscribe and all that. And I love you all. Have a good week.